A lot of parents ask themselves, what do I do with my kids? How do I entertain them? How do I keep them occupied? What are some good activities to do with them? You've probably gone down that rabbit hole yourself. You go online and you type in, what are some good activities to do with my children? And you'll see this list, right? Take them to the park, do this project, do some painting, do some coloring. Here's great learning experiences you can do. And that's great. Do those things. However, if you would like to know what is, in my opinion, one of the best things you can do with your kids, it's to simply involve them in whatever it is that you are doing. That's it. You don't have to think of new things to do all the time. You just have to ask yourself, what do I have to do today, and how can I involve my children? That's it. Now, I know what you are thinking. Julien, this sounds good on paper. Involve them in what you're doing. However, what I'm doing is not that exciting. It's not that fun. It's very mundane, and they're just not into it. And this is where you must remember that they are not you. And what is boring to you is interesting to them. What is mundane for you is extraordinary for them. Now, why is that? Because you're a veteran in the world, in this game of life. They are a noob, a newbie player who just picked up the controller of life, and they're still figuring things out. And for a lot of those things that seem mundane, to you, it's not for them. Especially if it's their first time doing it. You might say, well, all I have to do today is, during the time I'm with my kids now is the laundry. You're saying involve them in that? Yeah. Do you know how exciting it is for a kid the first time, or even early on, like doing the laundry? My daughters love that. They love folding the clothes. It's exciting. Now again, adult mind, because we project ourselves into them. Who would ever want to do that? Who would want to just fold the laundry when you could play and you have these exciting things? My daughters. They have a room filled with every toy and every activity you can imagine, and they are so excited when they can fold the laundry. Let that land. Why? Because it's new, it's exciting, and it's not all about the activity. It's very important. It's also about spending quality time with you and seeing into your world and your experience as an adult. They don't want you to always conform to them. Oh, let's hang out. What are some kid activities we can do? No. I'm sure, again, they love that. And yes, do that. However, they're also asking themselves, well, thanks for all the kid activities, but what about the grown-up activities? I want to be part of that. Imagine, you've probably experienced this growing up, right? If it's a big, say, family gathering, there's the kid table and the grown-up table. Now, it's great, the kid table, right? Hey, here's the kid table and the kid food and this. You don't think kids at the kid table are thinking, oh, I wish I was at the grown-up table. I want to be with the adults. I want to see what that is like. Well, same here when it comes to activities. They want it to see what it's like to be you, to do what you're doing, to see things from your perspective, to experience what you are experiencing. Just the other day, my daughter and I, my eldest daughter, we built this storage unit for our pool outside. All right, so it came in a box, and there's screws, and you have to put it together. That's what I was doing during that period of time. Now, instead of kid activities, Google, tell me, I involved my daughter. And it was the highlight of her day. I would even say it's the highlight of her week, building that with me. Now, again, as an adult, right? Most adults hate that too. It's like, I got to build this thing. It doesn't come put together. How horrible is that? Yet, she's never built something like that before. How exciting. Much more exciting than some activity she's done before. It's something new, and she gets to see into my world and connect with me through that activity. And we turned it into this epic and fun experience. right? I was showing her how he put it together. And a question, little side note that she's been asking me quite a lot this past week is, Dad, how do they build this? Dad, how do they build that for everything, right? So she'll point to a light. How do they how did they make that light? That's the question. Or how did they make the windows here? How did they do that? How did they make this dresser here? And I would give her just general answers, right? Say it's the dresser. I'm like, well, it's wood that they cut from a tree, and then they have these planks, and they put them together with screws and nails. Simplified. And here she got to experience actually building it. And I could reference it. Look, we're actually doing what you were asking me about. We're putting this together with screws and nails. Look at that. And it's not just, and this is very important, me doing it and her watching, right? Because that's another trap. You hear this, you're like, okay, involve them in what I am doing. Okay, well, come watch me do this. Watch me work. Watch me build this. Watch me do this. No, involve them in it. Now, of course, there are some things that you're doing where maybe they can't be involved on a physical level. Sure, in which case physically they're there watching you do it. But in that case, you want to involve them mentally, meaning ask them questions about it. The same with me, say, building this thing. At first, I'm like, okay, do you think this is the right piece? Can you bring me even the manual? So she'll bring the manual. Can you look for the next piece? It has the number 6 on it. And she'll go look for the next piece. Now, that's still physical involvement. But say she couldn't do any of that, I would ask her, okay, do you think this looks good here? Is it well positioned? Even though I might know, it's like, of course it's well positioned. I'm still going to ask her. That's mental involvement. It's, what do you think of this? Do you think this is good? Does this look good to you? Should we do it like this or like that? She's still watching, but she's now involved in the activity. So whatever you're doing, involve them in it. Versus, okay, look at me do it, or even explaining it. So here's what I'm doing, and then I do this, and then I do that. You see? Now, funny enough, even the question you see is to some extent involving them, because it requires like them participating too. But I did that. And it wasn't just me once more showing them, it was involving her. And towards the end, I even let her use the screwdriver a bit, and even the electric one where I'd hold it and she could press down on the button to put the screws in. And she loved that. Like, again, highlight every day or week. She's like, oh, I'm operating this thing. Oh my God. And I'm doing this one activity with my dad, and we are in sync and we are connected. This is amazing. And not just that, but it also, think self-esteem wise what it does too, right? By me involving her, it communicates that I view her as someone who is capable of doing this, as someone who is competent, someone who I can trust with a certain task. Wow, look at that. My dad entrusts me with this task of finding the piece, of asking the question, is it well positioned? Does this look good? Is this right? Am I doing it right? Do you like this? He cares about what I think. He's not just walking me through it and just telling me. I'm not just the employee and he's the boss. I'm actually the boss too. Whoa, he respects me that much? Ooh, self-esteem wise, absolutely amazing, right? It's, again, getting a taste of independence in a way, and also stepping out of your comfort zone. Hey, that was out of her comfort zone to press the electric screwdriver. It was out of her comfort zone to build this. And this is also important because, especially with these stories of building things, I know for myself, growing up, it was never the most fun thing to do, right? To build things with my dad or to help him do something. Why? Because I was extremely scared of making a mistake, because he would get frustrated doing it. And if he's frustrated doing it and I make a mistake, it could come out on me. And I think there's even a meme online about this, right? It's like some kid holding the flashlight for the dad. It's like, point the flashlight. Oh, like, many people have memories like that where you're like, that was not fun. But you can change it into something fun. Hey, if she's taking risks like that, like there was even one point where I had the screw positioned, we put the drill on it, and the screw fell, right? Like she moved it a bit and it fell. Now, no way am I ever going to get frustrated if I'm building something with her. If I knew that I might, by the way, if that's something that triggered me, I wouldn't involve her. But I knew that it wouldn't. Now, immediately she looks up like, and I'm like, hey, all good. It's okay. And that too, it's encourage risks. But when there's failure, quote unquote, celebrate it. Don't be like, what you draw? We have to pick it up again. We got to put it back. None of that. No, don't get frustrated. It's, hey, here's a crucial moment for her to ultimately cultivate a healthy relationship with failure. And unfortunately, a lot of people have a very negative core belief when it comes to failure, right? The belief is failure is bad. Failure is unacceptable. No, failure is part of learning. And that's what I can teach her and what I did in that moment. Hey, that's part of the process. That's why you practice. That too, the importance of practice. This is something we've actually been talking about a lot, the two of us, is, oh, well, how do you do this? Like, you got to practice. And she'll try something and it won't work. I'm like, well, yeah, that's the importance of practice. You do it again. And yeah, it doesn't work at first, but that's normal. Oh, it's normal. Hey, for anything you want to master, by the way, it requires practice and it requires failure. You can't stand straight without falling over first. And unfortunately, if you have a negative core belief around this, failure is bad, the way a lot of adults go about their lives is they're trying to walk without falling over. And what does that look like? Just lying on the floor. We go, oh, too scared to stand up because then I could fall over. Oh, I can't. Like, none of that. So a great opportunity to teach that in that moment. Something she might not have learned if it was just a simple like craft building activity that Google or ChatGPT told me to do. And do not judge or talk down in those moments. Just be relaxed about it. Again, the lesson is it's in the process, not the result. And what's more important in that moment? Is it actually the little storage unit that we're building? Does that matter more than this, than me and my own kid? No. Like, say she were to even do something that just destroyed the whole thing, so what? Well, why is that more important? Like, why would that ever cause you to yell or freak out or get triggered at your own kid? Again, why is that meme even a meme? Why is that even real? And taking it a layer further, throughout the whole process, it also allows me to show her how I do things and how I deal with things, right? For example, problem solving, like showing her how to build this, how there is a manual, how there are steps, showing her when even I make a mistake or when I'm like, I don't know if it's like this or like that. I show her how I deal with it. And I show her that it happens to me too. And that's the thing. If you're only doing activities like, let's do this little fun craft thing, it's hard to yourself be in a situation where you might be frustrated or stuck because it's a simple kid activity. But if you dare involve them in more grown-up activities that you're doing that are, of course, still age appropriate, to be clear, now you put yourself at risk where you might hit a dead-end road. And you might be like, oh, I messed up here. Wait, how do I do this? Let's go back. Let's backtrack it. Now, again, a lot of parents think, well, then they'll see weakness. No, they see strength, and it makes it relatable. They're like, oh, it happens to my parents too. So that means it's okay if it happens to me. It's part of being human, right? I talked about in the previous episode, I'm building with her this Star Wars Lego set, this Millennium Falcon. It's over 7,000 pieces. And we're still in the very beginning stage, right? The first, bag number 1. And there were some points where I haven't done Legos in years, since I was a kid, by the way. And doing this, I'm like, oh, this is fun. It's, making my inner child happy. But there were some points where I even messed up. And I'm like, wait a minute, I did it on the wrong thing. And we had to backtrack a few steps to fix it. I know. But she loved that the most. She's like, oh, he also messes up. And look, he's not self-attacking over it. So it teaches her, again, the healthy way to deal with it. Most people, it's like they fail. It's like, stupid. None of that. I'm chill about it. I'm laughing about it. I'm not triggered about it. I make it seem like it's normal and once more part of the process, and that transfers on to her. Remember, people model more what you do than what you say, especially children. You can say this, hey, kiddo, it's all about the process. Great, it'll probably go in one ear, out the other, as opposed to seeing you embody it. But it does require you taking risks where you might be doing something that you're struggling with, and you involve them. And I don't just do this with building things, I do this when I work too. Hey, here's what I'm doing for work. I involve them. I involve them in it all. Even this weekend too. And by the way, this is another thing. It creates less of this sense of isolation. Again, kid table, grown-up table. It's involving them. This weekend, I'm traveling to New York to do a live event. And there's an Instagram reel that I saw recently. And I'll clip it in here in a second. But I love the idea where I travel a lot for work, right? Now, before I travel, I always let my kids know sometime in advance. It's not like the minute before I leave. By the way, I'm leaving. I prep them and I remind them occasionally just so they're prepared and it's not out of the blue, which helps tremendously. But one thing this person said in the reel is, when I travel, what I tell my kids, and he phrases it in a way that I probably wouldn't phrase it myself, but the principles and the idea I would definitely use and have used this week is, hey, I'm going on this trip to, and I'm paraphrasing, represent our family. And there's some people who, we need to help, and I'm going there to help them as part of this family. So when I land, tomorrow I want to do a call. I want you to check in with me, make sure I'm doing a good job, et cetera, et cetera. Now, what does that do? It's the same situation. The dad's leaving for work, but now it involves the kid in it, and it creates this team. Again, it removes that isolation. It's me and the kid and this family, and that's why I'm doing it, as part of the team, as opposed to, hey, I'm leaving all of you to help other people because they're more important, right? My daughter, why are you leaving, Daddy? Well, there's some people in New York who need help, and Daddy has to help them. Well, wait a minute. Why are those people more important than me, Daddy?
Families that have parents traveling, like if dad travels a lot or mom travels for work, that wreaks havoc because you never know until it's too late when there's lashing out and things happen. Here's a brilliant hack. So what you do is you sit your kids down before you leave. You say, hey guys, Daddy or Mommy, Daddy's gonna be going on this trip. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm representing our family to help these people. And here's exactly how I'm gonna be serving them. And I want you guys to be like checking in. I want to talk to you like tomorrow afternoon after, like when I'm doing this. Can we check in? And like, I want you to ask me these questions to see how it went, or pray for me during it, right? Like, and when I get back, we're going to like unpack it. I'm going to tell you how many people we got to help and what we taught them. And then we're going to do these really fun things together because I want to celebrate the trip. That conversation makes your children know that you're doing something as a team. If you don't do that, your kids think that you're going off to do something more important than they are.
Wow. So again, same here. It's unity, team, involve, show them life, show them into your world, more than just what you say, more than just the fun little kid activities. And another mindset I have for this too is nothing is a chore. That's a core belief that I'm very aware in terms of communicating that to my kids. Nothing is a chore. Everything is play and exploration in a way. And I encourage curiosity. I make it fun. It's insane how we have such toxic relationships with so many of the things that we do. Just this word chore, right? You'll see a lot of parenting videos talk about this. How do you deal with chores? Do you give rewards? Is there punishment? Do you pay money for the chore? Like even the label chore, you have to do your chores. Screw that. It's such a negative label. It's ultimately this thing that you don't want to do, but that you have to do. What about changing the relationship? What about never viewing it or even calling it or labeling it a chore and just making it fun from the start? Don't you think they just love to do something fun? And don't you think that a lot of it, in terms of The reason they might not like it at first is due to the fact that you might not like it, and that gets passed down. Again, back to that folding the laundry example. It's fun. It's this game. It's cool. They love doing it. It's not a chore. A chore ceases to be a chore once you enjoy it. And then it's something where there's that healthy love and exciting relationship with it. You could even argue that if you take someone who, for example, is really into video games, right? A mainstream label is, 1 is nerd, 2 is lazy, right? Oh, lazy nerd, just playing video games, not doing much in life. Oh, they're so lazy. Oh yes, my kid played games all day, so lazy. Or, can you believe John? He's just playing video games. That's what he's doing with his life. Well, if you think about it, they're not that lazy. If you think of the time, the energy, the focus that it takes to play a video game, like people are like, I'm 60 hours in, I'm 100, I'm 200, 300, 500 hours, I'm 1,000 hours in, right? That's 1,000 hours of dedication. And if they're really into video games, it's not just casual playing, they're into it. There's passion, there's study, there's bettering the skills with the controller and the skills in the game and learning the nuances. That requires a lot. That's not someone who's lazy, someone who accomplishes that. The only problem is that they can only do it in the video game and they can't do it in real life. It doesn't translate into real life. So you could argue that people like that, when it comes to life itself, have even labeled life itself as the ultimate chore. It's like, that's the chore life. The fun is in the video game. So that's something I keep reminding myself of, and that I try to bring to everything we do. Everything we do is fun. Hey, we're at a restaurant and we have to wait 15 minutes for a table. Yeah, we had a reservation. We still have to wait. I know. I make those 15 minutes fun. It's never a drag. It's never something bad. Even if, tonight too, I was closing the pool, something that would be very boring or just an adult, gonna close the pool. But I involve them in it. I'm like, come check it out. Boom, boom, and they love it. And yeah, we always make it fun. And I give them and teach them ultimately different angles and formulas to make it fun. We talked about this before in a previous episode with play, right? Like different role plays. Another thing we do is like we're on the lookout or hunting for birds. So even out by the pool as we're like closing it, it's like, well, look, do you see any birds? And if we see them, it's like, let's try to sneak up on them. Now, of course, they fly away once you get close, but there's the thrill in that. We're like looking for birds. Or another crazier one is looking for werewolves. My daughter's really into that recently. It's like, there's a werewolf. So we're like looking for werewolves. So you can bring that into those chore tasks. And then from a young age, they just always have a great relationship with them. And now since it's things that you have to do, well, why not develop a positive relationship from the start? If you have to do it, why not make it so you enjoy it? Same for you as an adult, by the way. Bring some play back into it. Change that label. A chore is amazing. Like there is no chore. It's just a fun activity, a fun thing you can do. And you can get into these amazing flow states too. All right, another thing I do, and we did actually building that storage unit, is we'll sing while we're doing something. So whether it's like doing Legos or doing that, I'll sing some random tune, and it's not like a song. Like, let's sing these songs we memorize. But I'll just be something very basic, like, we're building. That's it. Just very basic tune. And then I'll pass after. I'm like, what are we building? And she's like, a shelf, right? Yes, we are. We're building. Or if there's a screw that we can't find, I'll sing, we lost a screw. And she'll be like, no, we didn't. And then I'm like, we're building always. And she's like, yes. And then I'll flip it around, like, we're building sometimes. And she's like, no, Dad, always. Or she'll add on to it. I'm like, what are we building? She's like, we're building this. And I just thought about this today, but there's something interesting about that, where the same as whether it's a vibing social interaction or play with your kids, or whenever you're in a certain flow, like you're just very in sync with the other person. I found that by doing those kind of simple song beat melodies, right, whatever it is, and she'll join in, it just supercharges that in sync connection, because she'll literally pick up and she'll kind of get a feel for where I'm going with it. I get a feel where she's going with it. We both have this kind of spider sense about it. It's weird, but it's awesome. And just that kind of basic repetitive singing tune really amplifies the flow, the just being in the moment, that flow state. So that's something I caught myself. Yeah, I do it quite a lot, right? It's like, we're cooking. What are we cooking? Noodles. We're cooking noodles. We're cooking noodles. We're burning noodles. No, Dad, we're cooking noodles. What are we cooking? Noodles. What are we not cooking? She'll throw something in. I do a lot of that. And what I'm talking about here too, by the way, also applies to when you talk to them. Also in a previous episode, the importance of being honest and real at times with your kids. Don't always baby it down, right? When you talk to them, involve them too. Like at the dinner table, as an example, if my wife and I are talking about something, right? Say we're trying to figure out a certain plan, we involve them. Like I'll ask them like, hey, what do you think? And that question there sounds so simple. What do you think? Never forget it. The simplest way to involve them into anything is, what do you think? And once more, self-esteem wise, what does it communicate? They care about what I think. They care about my opinion, my input on this. And I am worthy enough to partake, to like, wait, what? Whew, shoots up. So what do you think? So powerful. And whatever they say, actually listen. They'll be like, oh, that's cute. Oh, cool. Yeah. Anyway, we were saying, no, listen. Versus the grown-ups are talking. No. This is a grown-up conversation. What do you think? Oh, interesting. Oh, I like that. Good idea. So powerful. And that's the thing too with parenting. So much of the really powerful things are in these subtle moments like that, at least in my opinion. You know, people go online, they see all these examples like, here's what you say in the tantrum, and here's this, and it's amazing advice. But they think that it's in those moments, right? Or they'll hear a certain line, and they're like, I'll memorize that line. The power is not in the line. It's in these moments like this. It's in the principles underneath it. So, yeah, I mean, in conversation too. And don't just lecture either in conversation. Open dialogue, like encourage them to ask questions. Even if you share something, the simplest one, we talked about it. Do you have any questions about that? Another great one. And get them to be involved. It's like, oh yeah, asking questions, to share their thoughts, to have their thoughts be heard, to be seen. And even deeper than that, to also encourage critical thinking, to question things. Like even explaining the reason behind their thought. It's like, well, why do you think that? Or let's hear the two options. What do you think? Let's break them down and analyze and see both perspectives. So, yeah, that's something I'm big on. Oh, what do I do with my kids? Involve them in what you are doing. And on a personal note, I remember even for myself, when I was younger, just due to the nature of my profession, right, being a coach. When I first started out coaching in 2010, it was around social skills and confidence, communication skills. And due to that profession, I found myself around a lot of people who were older than me as clients, right? Say I was, 22, I might be coaching someone who's 50, like in their 50s or 40s. Or even from that young age, someone who's in their late 20s. So I was surrounded by a lot of people who were more, let's just say, further along in life than me. And just due to that fact alone, and again, I was the coach, they were the clients, there was a mutual respect there. It wasn't like, here's a kid. They treated me like an adult, like, again, mutual respect. And it allowed me to mature tremendously. It really helped with that. So same with your kids, right? Instead of, say there's a wall, again, isolation between kid world, grown-up world, they'll be capped at the limit in terms of who is the oldest kid they're hanging out with. That's the limit of maturity, as opposed to, and again, in an appropriate way, involving them with you in your life and in those adult conversations that are appropriate. Same with when you're talking to friends or whatnot, involving them. And now they're no longer capped. They're surrounded by that. I believe it's Ty Lopez who said, or who made popular, the 33% rule, where he said, ideally, you want 33% of the people you're surrounded with to be ahead of you, wherever you're going in life, 33% to be at your level, and 33% to be behind you. The ahead of you is like the mentor, right? You gain inspiration, you learn. The people at your level is your team. There's that sense of unity, which is extremely empowering. And the people behind you are people who you can help and teach. And by teaching, it reinforces the lessons that you've learned. And that's what you can create here. That's what I try to create, right? It's like, hey, you have each other. You're going to be seeing people younger than you later on in life. There's even babysitting later on. There's that 33% behind you where you can teach and learn and reaffirm different values and lessons to yourselves. There's the kids you know now, or even the kids at daycare, your friends. And then there's me, mom, family, people outside of that, and we involve you too. We don't create some wall. We don't create that separation. And the last thing I'd touch on here is overall, in a lot of my podcast episodes, I talk a lot about the importance of play, the importance of using your imagination. I'm really into that. I love that. But I also do want to stress the point that it's important to have structure and boundaries as well. So there's still boundaries, right? There's still a structure and within there's play, right? Like, people are like, well, do you just wing it with your kids? No, we have a daily schedule. We're quite structured in terms of how the day is for them, and there are clear boundaries there. And within that, there's a ton of play and a ton of imagination. But I'm personally big on that. It's waking up every day around the same time, going to bed for them every day around the same time. There's these certain, you could say, benchmarks that happen every day around the same time, every single day. And those are certain boundaries, again, that, nope, there's a boundary, there's a wall. That's how it works. Now, as parents, there can be that default reflex of, again, boundaries are not good. I got to assert them. But no, boundaries make your child feel safe ultimately, right? It creates a predictable environment as opposed to the complete unknown, right? It's, hey, instead of I wake up today, I don't know what's going to happen, here's a gist of what's going to happen. And then there's variations within that. So it's small chunking the complete unknown. But no, it makes them feel safe, right? It ultimately also gives them the rule book to their day. There's nothing scarier, in my opinion, than knowing that there are boundaries, because there are, but not knowing what they are. So be very clear in them, in my opinion. And another thing that I don't see many people talking about when it comes to boundaries is that it also helps tremendously when it comes to developing social intelligence, right? By understanding where the limits are, whether it's in life, within the day, when interacting with people, it allows you to ultimately learn to respect others' boundaries. By learning how to respect boundaries, you learn to respect other people's boundaries. And that's a big part of social intelligence, And ultimately, it's what I encourage is authenticity, expression, play within the boundaries of relatability. And this is something that I've taught for years, and I'll end it with this idea, this concept. It's authenticity plus relatability. So think of it like this. There's two circles. One is authenticity, and anything you do within that circle is you being authentic. So at any point in time, there's a million things you could do that are authentic. That's within the circle. The other circle is relatability. It's what makes sense in the context, whether, again, it's a life situation or someone or a group of people who you're talking to. There's what's appropriate and what isn't. So authenticity, relatability. My life philosophy is always be authentic and never, ever, ever compromise that. Always act within the circle of authenticity. However, always try to find the overlap where authenticity overlaps with relatability, and that's the sweet spot. Find that where you're still authentic and it's relatable. Ultimately, it's creating win-win situations. If you're just authentic and not relatable, you could say it's a win for you, a lose for them. If it's the opposite, it's just relatable, not authentic, then you're the people pleaser. Win for them, lose for you. Find the win-win. And that's something that you practice. You need to get a feel for what's okay, what's not okay, what's relatable, what's not relatable. And boundaries are a big part of that. It helps tremendously. So those are the thoughts for today. And as always, until next time.